Stadium has come to upstate New York, and we find ourselves at New Era Field in Orchard Park. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Buffalo Bills. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Again, this is Michel. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On second down, Michel. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. They'll look to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And they get 14 yards there at a first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent. They had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's caught inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And there on the tackle, Shaq Lawson.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll drop the throw. It's caught. Lockett. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
This now play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. And they'll go with the ground attack here. Able to power through. He went backwards there 8 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
For me, that was an example of why offensive linemen might want rearview mirrors at times, because you have your assignments to block, but if you can see what's going on in the backfield and maybe the guy carrying the ball is headed in another direction, it might change what you do up front. But if they can't see that and he's not in sync with what they're doing up front, well, this is when you end up with plays like this. A bad one for the offense, a really good one for the defense.
Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Hurry up, here we go! 3-19! 3-19!
They're going to look to throw. This complete to Lockett. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Flex round!
Kaiser now to throw on first down. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Throwing again is Kaiser on 2nd and 10. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Darryl Roberts right there on the coverage.
The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now it's Stephen Hauschka, who won a Super Bowl ring kicking for the Seahawks. Now he's against them. The wind is at his back here in the 2nd quarter. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Bills are going to tie the game at 3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. I have a theory about it. Want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now. than ever before. I talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
They begin the drive with Pumphrey. And an alley to run. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Michel. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Back to throw. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
No. Check, Patriots.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And that is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Gone. Set. Blue landed.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
He'll look to throw. And it'll be intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. Kaiser on 1st down. And it's complete. This is Austin Kroll. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get this up to about the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Ohio! Ohio! Come on, let's go! Red 38! Red 38!
Kaiser now on 2nd down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
You got four down.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to Buffalo after this.
Flex round! Flex round!
On 3rd down, Kaiser. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one goes for 24 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
All right, here we go.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Michel. And here now a spin. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Over! Watching that, Barney!
Trying to pound it in here with Michel. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's going to get it running right. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now the Bills will take another timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Over! Hurry up, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
They'll set up to throw. That's caught at the 3. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. A field goal would break the tie, but look at this. Instead, they're going to go for it on 4th and goal.
Watching that, Barney!
Here we go with Michel, and he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Sony Michel, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Caleb Sturgis now for the point after. Sturgis for the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round!
On 2nd down, Kaiser again. Flush to his right. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Bills on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4.
Flex round! Flex round!
From the gun, Kaiser. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Coverage was great everywhere that time. He tried to get it to his outlet, tried to get it to his running back, but sailed it a little bit too high and actually left his body open for a big hit.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They go play action here on 1st down. Escapes the sack. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
On 1st and 10, Kaiser throwing the out route incomplete. It's Coleman. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. 1st down, Kaiser. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Ohio! Ohio!
A 2nd down throw now for Kaiser. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a gain of 9, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 3rd down, that's McGee. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Take 4, take 4.
Right back to him on 1st down. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Second down, Kaiser. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Ohio! Ohio! Come on, let's go! White 90! White 90!
Kaiser from the gun on 3rd. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to see. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And that is incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down, threw a fastball. When that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Ohio!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Open man here is Kroll. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Let's go!
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A 1st down throw for Kaiser. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll make this a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Kaiser now. Flushed out right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Barkevious Mingo able to get outside the numbers and drop him for a loss of a yard. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Kaiser and the offense staying put. They're going for it.
Ohio! Here we go! What? 90!
Now Kaiser on 4th down. He finds Coleman. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back now in Buffalo. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Ohio! Flex round!
Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now they'll run on the draw. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, He looked like one of those guys.
Now a second down throw for Kaiser. That is caught at the 7-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
Ohio! Flex round!
Here's Kaiser. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the air.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Being chased out left. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Buying time to his left. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He can run for it, and he will. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, he was looking at a dime formation, 6 defensive backs on the field, so he's looking for anyone to throw the football to, but he didn't have anyone open, so he took off and ran for it, but he came up just short, and that brings up 4th down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And here come the Bills. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
To throw is Kaiser. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Coleman. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
Flex round. Ohio.
Kaiser to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. A nice gain of 21 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Kaiser now to throw on first down. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Give him 7 on the play, and they're going to face a third down. Again, it's Kaiser. And he's got more time, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a big 32-yard play on third.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. And they'll go on the ground. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11, sets them up 1st and goal.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. He'll look to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Corey Coleman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bills have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time,
they practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. To the right side, complete to Taylor. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll look to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Buffalo, they pick up their 2nd win now on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the LA Rams come to town. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they taste defeat for the first time this season as they drop to 5-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.